So after a few years of patiently waiting, we finally get gameplay for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, the new game by Rocksteady, makers of Batman Arkham Asylum, Night, City, those games. And it was during the PlayStation State of Play yesterday, February 23rd, 2023. And the gameplay comes out just in time for the release window, which is going to be May 26, 2023, a few months from now, on PS5, Xbox Series, as well as PC. We've had quite a few cinematic trailers here and there, but up to this point, absolutely no gameplay. But now we have gameplay. I watched it. I'm not going to show any screenshots because I got a strike a while back for covering some leaked information regarding Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which I still feel is unjustified, but better safe than sorry. I'm not going to include any gameplay video or screenshots. I will link all that and the FAQ section for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League below in the description section if you want to read the FAQ as well as watch the trailers yourself. There's a gameplay trailer. There's also a behind-the-scenes interviews with Rocksteady regarding some more in-depth stuff that's going to be part of Kill the Justice League, which is what I'm going to go over right now. So it is also set in the Arkhamverse, 5 years after the events of Batman Arkham Knight. So I may discuss some spoilers in this video, FYI. Just warning you, Arkham Knight spoilers. It's going to be a third-person action adventure shooter, 1 to 4 players. Most of you already know about this information, but I'm just going over it because some people may not be aware of it. It's co-op, and it's going to be online mode only. Even if you're playing by yourself, apparently you're going to have an internet connection in order to play Kill the Justice League, the new Suicide Squad game. It'll be Harley Quinn, Deadshot, as well as Captain Boomerang and King Shark. Those are the 4 playable characters initially at launch for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And it includes voice acting by Tara Strong as Harley Quinn once again. She took over for Harley Quinn, I believe it was Arkham City, then Arkham Knight, and a few other games as well, and of course some animated work here and there too. You also have the late Kevin Conroy. He voiced Batman apparently one last time before he passed away, sadly. The price tag, we really don't know the price tag for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I'm guessing there's going to be several editions of this game, just like with most games these days. So probably for the base game, I think it'll be probably $70 US. I'm sure we'll find out more information about that forthcoming in the very near future. But with all these different games, there'll be like Ultimate Edition, Special Edition, and those will cost even more than the base version of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. There's also going to be some in-game purchases, which we found out about a few months ago via a leaked screenshot, which some of us got a strike for by Warner Brothers. There will be a Battle Pass, so the Battle Pass we knew about is officially confirmed, but Rocksteady, doing damage control, has made the case that it will be cosmetic only. There are 2 tiers for the Battle Pass, free and premium. So premium is obviously going to be the one that people will be able to purchase. And there's also going to be an in-game store. Now, we already know about the store because we saw it in the screenshot, which I will not be including, even though it's in the State of Play trailer now. Images of Captain Boomerang and Harley with all the stats, all the different numbers of the weapons, and of course the UI, which shows obviously the section for the Battle Pass and for the in-game store. So cosmetics, microtransactions, which to be fair is not exactly a new thing. There were bundles, there were Batman skins that you could get for Batman Arkham Knight. I think there were skins for the Batmobile, and there were skins you could purchase, I think, for some of the other characters as well. At least the playable characters, like Catwoman, Robin, Nightwing. But definitely there were purchasable bundles for Batman in Arkham Knight. So that's not really a new thing. As long as it's, I guess, cosmetic only, I guess that's okay. But it's pretty obvious that Warner Brothers is going to try and milk every single dollar, pound, euro, dime, penny out of their fans as possible, not only having to buy the game at full price and different editions, but also the battle pass, because a lot of people are probably going to want to buy the tier system. They're going to want to buy the premium version of the game, even though you apparently will get some free stuff with the battle pass. And then, of course, the in-game store cosmetics. So look for very interesting items to be included as quote-unquote purchasable with in-game currency or real-life money. So that's most likely going to happen. They also mentioned in the FAQ section that there will be some post-launch content. They're going to be expanding the story, new missions. There's going to be some new playable characters. So I guess they're going to add new members to the Suicide Squad. And apparently all that's going to be available at no cost. So I guess that's a pro. You won't have to purchase new characters. I'm surprised that Rocksteady and Warner Brothers aren't going to force players to buy new playable characters that make up the roster for Suicide Squad. But I guess that's a good thing. However, I do see through this good PR move because of all the negative publicity that they've gotten, they being Warner Brothers, for Gotham Knights, as well as the information that came out because of that infamous leaked image not too long ago. So they're definitely attempting damage control with all this information they're putting out. Even though the earnable character will be free, you're probably going to have to purchase outfits and other cosmetics for the new characters, similar to the current characters that'll be available day one for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So yeah, you're still going to end up spending money on the new characters, playable characters, earnable characters, whatever you wish to call it. But hey, it's quote-unquote free, so that's great. Thank you, Rocksteady. Now, I did watch the gameplay, like I mentioned already, and I do want to know your honest opinion about the gameplay after you watch it. And I try to go into it with an open mind, even though, obviously, I'm not really happy about Warner Brothers for reasons I've already mentioned. I gotta say this. It just looks like another third-person shooter game. Graphically, it looks dated. It reminds me too much of Arkham Knight, and not exactly in a good way. I mean, yeah, it's set in Metropolis, not Gotham, but it didn't really wow me graphically, the gameplay. And basically the premise is Suicide Squad versus Brainiac, one of the most powerful villains in the DC universe. He's up there with Darkseid. And you also have Brainiac controlling several members of the Justice League. We've known about this for a while now. So he invades Earth, and specifically Metropolis, and most of the members of the Justice League that we are aware of so far, because of the trailers, including Superman, Batman, Flash, Green Lantern, all of them have been mind-controlled, brainwashed by Brainiac. So already the stack is heavily against the Suicide Squad. Let's be honest. Do you think that Harley Quinn, King Shark, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang would be any match against Batman, even if it was 4v1? With the, I guess you could say, the wheels off, the training wheels, where Batman, has to keep his rule of not killing. The same thing goes for Superman, Green Lantern, and the Flash. Because they're heroes. They're not going to kill. But they can still manage to best all four of these characters that they're up against at the same time. Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, King Shark. Even if it was 4v1, there would be no match against any of these guys. No match against Batman, no match against Green Lantern, no match against the Flash, and definitely no match against Superman. And in a previous trailer, we already saw that this version of Superman, being programmed and controlled by Brainiac, is out for blood. He's killing. He's blowing up helicopters. He's murdering people. And that's just something that Superman won't do. So if Brainiac has that kind of control over these heroes, then the truth is Suicide Squad doesn't really stand a chance. But video games. But I guess Rocksteady had to, try and find some sort of way to quote-unquote even the odds, which is why Wonder Woman is not brainwashed or programmed by Brainiac for reasons. Now, to be fair, Wonder Woman is probably the second most powerful member of the Justice League, right underneath Superman. But Brainiac is Superman's archenemy, not Wonder Woman's. Yet Wonder Woman is the only one that was not brainwashed. So you have 4 male characters brainwashed, 1 female character not brainwashed. But it does seem kind of interesting that you think the one character that wouldn't be brainwashed would be Superman. So we got Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, Flash, brainwashed. Wonder Woman, not brainwashed. And apparently they're going to get help from Lex Luthor as well, along with Wonder Woman and Amanda Waller. Does that tip the odds in the Suicide Squad's favor when you have Brainiac, Brainiac's minions, and the rest of the members of the Justice League, at least 4 of them? I mean, there's the possibility that they also maybe have Hawkgirl or Hawkman or Martian Manhunter or like Cyborg. The major problem I've had with this game from day one since it was announced was the fact that as a DC fan, I'm aware of how powerful these characters are, their strengths, their weaknesses. And putting the Suicide Squad up against the Justice League just doesn't seem like a recipe for success. So without Wonder Woman, and I guess without Amanda Waller and Lex Luthor, Harley Quinn, King Shark, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang would have no chance in Hades. They would be obliterated. I don't even think they have a chance against Brainiac. Just them 4 versus Brainiac. But they're going to have all these different weapons and going to be customizable, yada, yada, yada. For the record, I wish Rocksteady would have made something different. Like, I don't know, another single-player game. There were rumors for the longest time that they were working on a Superman game. That would have been really cool. But they scrapped it. Allegedly. Now, we may never know the truth when it comes to what they may have been working on or not working on. But I'd rather have a Superman game than Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It was kind of sort of hinted at Easter egg-wise in Arkham Knight. The fact that Metropolis is mentioned, and there's some voicemails at Wayne Tower for Bruce from Lex Luthor. So it's alleging that Metropolis, at the very least, was going to be where the next game took place, which is true because it's 5 years later after the events of Arkham Knight, but it's now with Brainiac invading Earth. My question is, what happened to Batman and Alfred after the Nightfall Protocol? Because you have Wayne Manor destroyed. Obviously, I never believed that Bruce or Alfred killed themselves in the blast, faked their death, and most likely went off somewhere else, because I'm sure, being a multi-billionaire, Bruce probably has a few safe houses throughout the world that him and Alfred ran off to. So I guess 5 years later, Batman decides to come back out of the shadows in order to fight Brainiac and ends up losing against Brainiac. I guess that's how it's going to go. I hope that there's a opening cutscene at the beginning of the game that shows exactly what happened to the Justice League and how Brainiac was able to subdue and take control over all these powerful members of the JL. And that's another thing. So this game is set in the Arkhamverse, just like Arkham Asylum and Arkham Origins and Arkham City and Arkham Knight. And despite all the BS that was going on in Arkham City and Arkham Knight, why did none of the members of the Justice League lift a finger to help Batman? I find that interesting. But that's a beaten path we don't need to go down. It's just one of those curiosities. It's just like with Deadshot originally being white and now black. For the record, I don't care if Deadshot's white or black. What matters to me is consistency and the version of the character in this universe. Will Smith's Deadshot is black, but the Floyd Lawton we were introduced to in, I think, Arkham Origins, as well as Assault on Arkham, which was the animated movie that was set prior to the events of Arkham Asylum, that movie is supposed to be canon, or it was canon, just like Arkham Origins was canon. But the way that Rocksteady's retconned it is that the Deadshot we encounter in the Arkham games and Arkham, like Assault on Arkham, was a fraud, was not the real Deadshot, not the real Floyd Lawton. Okay, you want to retcon it that way? Whatever, Rocksteady. But once again, to be clear, doesn't bother me if Deadshot's black or white. I just think that there should be some consistency when it comes to the version of Deadshot in this universe. If this game was set in its own universe or set in, say, the Gotham Knight universe, then I wouldn't really make an issue out of this. And it's not really a problem. I just pointed out because I find it fascinating that they chose to make a change to a pre-existing character in their own Arkhamverse. But I'm sure they made other changes here and there as well. They being Rocksteady for reasons. Probably the same reason why Wonder Woman is the only member of the Justice League that was not brainwashed. Meanwhile, Green Lantern, Flash, Superman, Batman, all of them have been brainwashed by Brainiac instead. But Wonder Woman's fine. I guess she was on vacation in Themyscira, hanging out with her mom and her friends while Brainiac was invading Earth. Hopefully there's some legitimate reason why Wonder Woman wasn't brainwashed or programmed, besides her being strong, independent women, Mary Sue. I don't want them to go that way because I actually like Wonder Woman. I do like female superheroes. I just don't like how some characters have been written. If they justify it, then that's totally fine by me. But the main reason why I'm not interested in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is because the game itself looks very underwhelming. I don't really care for it at all. People were a lot more excited about Spider-Man gameplay. First impressions do matter in a game. And when Spider-Man, for example, was first revealed, people were excited about it. The same thing goes with Batman Arkham Asylum. I was thrilled to death for Batman Arkham Asylum because it looked amazing. And it actually allowed you to be Batman. But with this game, I'm just not feeling Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And it's nothing against any of the voice acting. I think the voice acting is pretty good from all the voice actors. Harley Quinn, Deadshot, King Shark, as well as Captain Boomerang, Amanda Waller. Of course, the late legendary Kevin Conroy reprising the role of Batman for apparently the final time. I think the voice acting will be pretty spot on. It'll be pretty solid. I hope the dialogue is better than what we witnessed in the gameplay. But we'll just have to wait and see. And that's another thing that really grinds my gears is the fact that shortly after Kevin Conroy tragically passed away, Warner Brothers decided to get some clout and get some trending for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League by spoiling the fact that Batman was going to be in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I know that's not really a major spoiler because Batman's supposed to be in the Justice League, but the fact that it is Kevin Conroy voicing Batman one last time, I don't think that Rocksteady would have played their hand and showed off some cutscene with Kevin Conroy voicing Batman one last time if Kevin Conroy was still alive. And for the record, I wish Kevin Conroy was still with us, but sadly he's not. If he was still with us, I get the feeling that Rocksteady and Warner Brothers would have never put out that cutscene that revealed Batman to be voiced by Kevin Conroy. But because of the fact he passed away and it was trending, Warner Brothers and Rocksteady decided to take advantage of the sad, tragic loss of Kevin Conroy. That's just my theory. Could be completely off the mark about that. But anyways, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. We now have more information about it, including finally gameplay coming out in late May. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not even excited about it. I have no interest in purchasing this live service game, which is going to require you to have internet on at all times, even if you're just playing by yourself with AI characters. And the fact that there's going to be lots of different ways for Warner Brothers to try and milk the game, not just with purchasing the main game, whether it's the base version or special ultimate editions, along with the Battle Pass, even though there'll be free content. You know, the much more enticing content will be locked behind a paywall. And, of course, the store, where you'll be able to purchase some cosmetics and outfits and other things as well for your characters with real money. So, yeah, look for Warner Brothers to try and milk this game as much as they possibly can. And that's the final problem that I have with it. Despite the fact that Rocksteady claims that they're going to continue adding new stories, new missions, even new playable characters for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League to keep it interesting, there's a wall you're going to reach when you play through it. You play through it the first time, there has to be a beginning, a middle, and an end. And the question is, how many times are players going to be willing to play through Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League before they get tired of it? What's the replay value? Is it to simply get more cosmetics, more like different weapon types, try out different characters, different achievement trophies? So I don't know how the loop is going to work with this game, and if it's going to be interesting or replayable as all, or is it simply just going to be a grind? You just jump in with your friends or solo, and you try to beat it as Harley Quinn. You try to beat it as Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, then King Shark. Then you come back with a new character, and then you play through the same game again and again and again. So how many times are people going to be willing to replay through this game before they get bored with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? For the record, I hope it's a great game. I hope that the gameplay has not done the game proper justice, and I hope it has a good loop. But from what I saw and from the information we have right now, I am just not at all interested in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I hope it turns out to be a success, but I have a very bad feeling that this is going to be nothing more than a third-person shoot-'em-up, grindy live service game whose sole purpose is to make as much money for Warner Brothers as possible at the player's expense.